legislation by, if I'm correct, by the use of executive privilege. We've seen increasing usage of executive privilege over the last, say, 15, 20 years. Does the Senate, does the Congress have the power to either overrule executive privilege or take such matters to the Supreme Court in the hopes of overturning executive privilege on matters such as where we are now?
Yeah, look, it is a great question, and you were right that what caused this border crisis was a series of unilateral executive actions taken by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And where we are today is unprecedented. So let's step back and have a little bit of history. I've actually joked that Joe Biden has done something I used to think was impossible. He made me miss Barack Obama. Now, to be clear, I disagreed with Barack Obama on a lot of policies. But actually on immigration, Obama by and large followed the law. Obama, if you'll recall, deported millions of people. If you remember, the left got very mad at Obama. They called him the deporter-in-chief. What Joe Biden is doing, there is literally no precedent in the history of our nation for. He is simply defying the federal law. So the federal law provides, existing federal immigration law, passed by Congress, signed by the President, in the United States Code, it provides for mandatory deportation. It says they shall be detained, they shall be deported. In the law, when Congress writes shall, it's a mandatory obligation. What Joe Biden is doing is simply ignoring it and releasing millions and millions of illegal immigrants. It's 11.5 million that have come into this country since he became president. That is larger than every state in America but 8 of them. That is larger than the city of Houston. I spend a lot of time on the southern border. I go out on midnight patrol. Let me tell you what is happening right now. When you go out on midnight patrol with the Border Patrol agents, number one, they're not actually looking for illegal aliens. It's not like they're searching for them. When you go out on midnight patrol, within minutes, a group of illegal aliens will find you. They come find you and they turn themselves into you. They're all carrying with them, they have a baggie to protect it from water. They almost all have a cell phone. They almost all have some form of identification, a passport or a driver's license or a birth certificate. And they almost all have a piece of paper with a name and phone number of someone in the United States they're supposed to call when they get here. And they're being brought by Mexican drug cartels who are making billions of dollars trafficking these people. When these people arrive, I'll tell you, when you look at the women, when you look at the children, virtually every one of them has been sexually assaulted. It makes you sick to your stomach. Troy, you stood there when you look at a 10 and 11-year-old girl who you know what the last 6 months of her life has been. Because these human traffickers are vicious. And when they get there, the Border Patrol just installed a new app on their phones. I've seen the app, it's on their phones. It allows them to process an illegal alien in 2 minutes. The alien will pull out their identification card, they zap it with the phone, it populates all the different fields. And they ask them, what city do you want to go to? And one after the other, they'll say, I want to go to Houston. I want to go to Chicago. I want to go to New York. I want to go to LA. And Joe Biden and Kamala Harris put them on buses and put them on planes, and they fly them to every city in America. That is directly contrary to the law. And I got to say, our Constitution, frankly, was not designed for a president that just flouts the law. Article 2 of the Constitution says the president shall take care that the laws be faithfully executed. When you talk to Border Patrol agents, I know many Border Patrol agents, they're frustrated out of their minds. They go risk their lives, they apprehend dangerous people, and their political superiors say, let them go. That's happening every single day. Now, here's the good news. This problem was caused by unilateral executive action. It can be largely fixed by unilateral executive action. There were 3 decisions that Joe Biden made the first week in office that caused this crisis. The first week in office, he immediately halted construction of the border wall, number 1. He reinstated catch and release, the disastrous policy where when you apprehend someone, you let them go. And he pulled out of Remain in Mexico. Remain in Mexico was an international agreement Trump had negotiated with the government of Mexico. It worked incredibly well. It caused our numbers to plummet, so that when Joe Biden came into office, we had the lowest rate of illegal immigration in 45 years. All Biden had to do was nothing. But instead, he ripped up that international agreement, and our numbers went from the lowest in 45 years to the highest in recorded history, immediately. The good news is, in terms of how you fix it, if we have a new president in January of 2025, the first week in office, I guarantee you those 3 decisions will be reversed. And we will secure the border again. And listen, if the American people say enough is enough, what I hope will happen is that we see some congressional Democrats who are willing to support common sense legislation to keep our children, keep our families safe. That will only happen if their constituents demand it.